Hello and welcome back to the PL Prediction Podcast. I'm Amir, this is Hussain, and we're going to be predicting week 15 of the Premier League action. And then we're going to be doing a recap for the last week's action, which we're not able to podcast. But you will find the results over here and the final scoreboard. And then after that, at the end, you will find us giving you some fantasy tips for week 15 of the Premier League action. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe and follow us on Twitter on at PL Prediction Podcast. So, sir, let's get started with week 15. First up is the big match of the day, Leicester at home against Manchester United. Who do you have here?
I've gone for a 1-1 draw again. It's working for me. So, yeah.
Is it working for you, though? Is it working for you? It's working for Manchester United, no doubt about it.
Yes. No,
Uh,
I genuinely think we are due away bad result. This can't continue. This away form just can't continue. So, and Leicester City are in form also.
yeah, I think
And plus, Man United has played a lot of football in the last 10 days. So, yeah, I'm going for a 1-1 draw. Hopefully, not a loss.
on the quality of the teams and the quality of the form of both teams, it feels like a draw. But I checked out Leicester's home record, and it's really, really middling. They're like the 10th
Hmm.
best home record in the league.
Yeah.
Manchester United has the best away record in the league, and I
Yeah.
don't feel like the that many matches counts because Manchester United have a relatively young squad, actually a very young squad. So I think they'll be fine. In fact, I think Leicester has the more aged squad if you look at it. So I feel pretty confident with the Manchester United win. Yeah, I'm going to go for a 2-1 Manchester United win. And Musin's gone for a Manchester United win as well over here. Then up next is Aston Villa at home against Crystal Palace. I've
Yeah.
gone for a draw here. I feel Aston Villa are due a stinker, and Crystal Palace have these matches at least specifically away from home,
Yeah.
where they set up for a draw and just look to hit you on the break.
Yeah.
I feel a nil-nil or a 1-1. I feel comfortable picking a draw over here.
No, I am going for an Aston Villa win. I think they've sorted their defense. They're attacking very well. Almost every game they have 15 to 20 attempts on goal. Grealish is in form, winning penalties. El Ghazi taking them. So I am comfortable 2-0 win.
Okay, so Moses gone for an Aston Villa win as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Then up next is Fulham at home against Southampton. Who do you have here?
Southampton win. Southampton is playing brilliant football. I don't see how Fulham can beat Southampton over here. Going for a 2-0 win
Okay, so I have a
for
Southampton win
Southampton.
as well. Yeah, I'm going to go for a 2-0, 3-0 win as well for
Yeah.
Southampton. I think Southampton are in a really good form. Even the Fulham are decent, but I think
Mm.
Southampton should be too good for them. Southampton are a legit top 8 team, top 8, top 9
Yeah.
team. So I think
Agreed.
Southampton should win here comfortably. Then up next is Arsenal at home. Oh, sorry, Mohsin's gone for a Southampton win as well.
Yeah.
Up next is Arsenal at home against Chelsea. Arsenal are just a train wreck, car crash, garbage truck fire, whatever you want to call them. I feel comfortable picking a Chelsea win. I feel Chelsea are in
Yeah.
really good form. Their defense is really good. Thiago Silva has lived up to all his reputation and
Yeah.
been such a super addition to this Chelsea lineup. I feel really really good picking a Chelsea win with a clean sheet. I think a 2-0 or a 3-0 win for Chelsea. Yeah.
Yeah. I've gone for a 3-0 win also, and everything you said about Thiago Silva defies at least all my expectations. I thought he's just going to be there for a year, maybe become a coach later on, center back coach or something, defensive coach. But yeah, he's doing really well. He's going forward defensively, keeping the line, everything. Like they don't miss Aspilicueta as a captain anymore because Thiago Silva is there. So, but they have issues on the wing. They don't have Chilwell and they don't have Reece James. So, how does that affect the play? I don't know, but Arsenal are going to be a cakewalk. It's going to be 3-0.
Okay, so even Moses gone for a Chelsea, but the last sentence that you said, it makes me feel a little uncomfortable now with this pick. So then up next is City at home against Newcastle. How many goals do
Yeah.
you have City winning by?
No, not much. I think Newcastle will keep its shape. City is also playing a lot of games. I think once they go 2-0 up or something, they'll start resting players. So I've gone for a 2-1 win
Okay,
for
actually, yeah, even I don't feel that good about this one. I feel like there
yeah,
is potential for a draw here if Newcastle
yep,
really stick it out. But I'm still going to go for a City win. I feel like a 1-0 or a 2-1 win for City.
yeah.
Uh, hopefully now City have found their footing and they can kick on. Like
Yeah.
Sterling getting into the goals. Kevin De Bruyne has always been with the assists, but they need someone to finish them. If Sterling can keep finding the goal, I think City should be fine. But that's been their problem. They haven't been able to finish off their chances.
And Aguero has to come back sooner or later. Sometime or the other, he has to come back.
Yeah, how long does gastroenteritis last? How bad was this case of diarrhea? I don't understand. What did he
I
did he go
have
to
no
Delhi or
idea.
something?
And he's been on the bench quite some time. Then he just got this gastric problem and he's not come back. So God knows.
Moses gone for a City win as well.
Yeah.
Next up is Sheffield United at home against Everton. I really feel in my gut that this could be a draw because Sheffield have been better off late, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take that risk. I'm gonna go for an Everton win here, but I feel
Mm.
this could be a surprise alert for this week. I feel Sheffield United have been much better in the last couple of weeks. Not deserve to win or get a result as yet, but I feel they have improved a lot considering how bad they have been to start the
Yeah.
season. So I feel they could get a draw here, but I'm going to go for an Everton win, a narrow 2-1 win for Everton.
Yeah. Even I've gone for a very, very close win. It will be a 2-1 win, probably a draw also. You can't say because they have also played a lot of football lately. They don't have that big a squad, a lot of players injured. James is still not come back. Digne is out. Coleman has just come back. He's playing too many games for my liking. But the centre back partnership is turning out to be really good, Mina and Keane. So that's something to look for. They don't have a settled goalkeeper. Also, I don't think they know what's the number one anymore. Pickford or the other guy. Pickford is horrible, horrible. I saw the game last week, and he made three evident mistakes, clear mistakes, which could have led to a goal, which they got lucky. So yeah, I'm going for a narrow 2-1 win.
Okay. Up next is Leeds at home against Burnley. Sorry, did I say Moses? Moses picked an Everton win as well.
Yeah.
Up next is Leeds at home against Burnley. Who do you have here?
So this match can go anywhere because Burnley is going to sit, and try to hit them on set pieces. A corner, as you said, seems like a penalty for against Leeds. It can go anywhere, but I feel if they sit back long enough, it plays right into Leeds' hands, and they can attack, and get a lot of goals. I think it happened before also against Aston Villa. I think when they just ran riot, Aston Villa sat back and they just kept scoring, kept scoring. Bamford hat trick was there that day. I think it's going to be a Leeds narrow win here. They will get a goal and set piece, Burnley, but Leeds will outpower them with 2 goals.
Okay, so I've gone for a Burnley win here. I think Burnley have been the most informed team over the last 3-4 weeks. They've pulled out
Yep.
results which nobody expected them to pull.
Yeah.
They've got their defense sorted. I think Burnley are a much better team than their table position shows. They had too many injuries to start the season,
Yep.
but now that they have everybody back, they're starting to show their Burnley football, that typical, with the stroke of old. I think they're back.
Yeah.
I think they'll really frustrate Leeds. This is the exact kind of team that Leeds don't want to face. A
Yeah.
team that has no interest in attacking them, but more interested in defending and just hitting them on set pieces. And Leeds have a gaping hole when it comes to defending set pieces. Or set pieces is almost like a penalty against them.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go for a Burnley win here. I'm going to go for a 2-0 Burnley win.
Yeah. 2-0.
2-0. And Mosen's gone for a draw here.
Okay.
Uh, then it's West Ham United at home against Brighton. We feel pretty good picking West Ham to win here, even though they were a disappointment last week against Chelsea. But I think they should be really too much quality for Brighton. They are a much better team than Brighton.
Yeah.
Suchek, I think Antonio should be back for this one now. Suchek, Bowen, just too much quality for Brighton, and Brighton have just
Cresswell.
lost their way. They can't find the back of the net anymore. However well they started the season, it's gone down the drain now. And we mentioned this earlier also that those set pieces goal that you normally expected from Brighton have completely
Yeah.
gone. So I feel West Ham should win here, and comfortable 2-0 win for West Ham.
Yeah. Even I'm going for a 3-0 win. I don't know if Antonio is back, but Haller is really, really poor. Once Antonio comes back, they'll become twice the team they already are. Last week against Chelsea, I think Chelsea just had that little bit more quality everywhere on the pitch. They played decent, but Chelsea were just on form, on song. They didn't put a foot wrong that day. I'm comfortable with a 3-0 win over here. I don't mind it. I think maybe Brighton sneak in a goal, but other than that, it should be 3-0.
Okay, so Mohsin's gone for a West Ham win as well.
Yeah.
Liverpool up next is Liverpool at home against West Brom. The return of Big Sam.
Yeah.
What who do you have here?
I was confused between a 5-0 win and a 4-0 win. So I'm going for a 4-0 win. Hopefully Salah gets a hat trick over here. They're just too good. They, anybody plays in that attacking trio, they're just right there scoring goals or assisting goals. Firmino was in form, Mane was in form, Salah came back, came off the bench after all my tears and gave me a lot of points. Uh, I don't see any other result over here except a 4-0 Liverpool win or a 5-0.
Because even I have Liverpool winning here comfortably 2
Yeah,
0 3-0. But you have to take into account the Sam Allardyce factor because this is
yeah,
what Sam Allardyce is good at just, uh,
yeah.
neutralizing opponents, especially opponents who want to attack and go for the
But
goal.
it will take time.
Yeah, that's the thing. It might take time, but
Yeah,
you don't know. He's Sam Allardyce. Has
yeah,
he has a reputation of doing this over 2 decades to all different kinds of managers. You name it, Pep,
yeah.
Mourinho, Alex Ferguson, Arsene Wenger. You name it. If
Mm,
you haven't been beaten by Sam Allardyce on a counter for a 1-0 or
mm.
even on a set piece for a 1-0, you haven't managed in the Premier League. So you have to keep in
But I
mind.
don't think he has the team with West Brom. I just don't see it. I don't think he has that defensive unit which normally he gets. Normally he goes into January and he buys 1 2 players defensively. So maybe it takes a
Maybe,
week.
maybe,
I
maybe it
trust
might take.
Big Sam, but West Brom is too deep a hole to get out of right now.
Oh, I wouldn't bet against them to survive with Big Sam at the helm of them. But I think this match comes a little too early. I feel a Liverpool
Too
win, a
early.
2-0 or 3-0 win. Then last match of the week is Wolves at home against Tottenham. This has been really difficult to call for me because Tottenham have gone on a little bit of the boil, and
Yeah.
Wolves. But the deciding factor is that Jimenez is not there. So I'm going to
Uh,
go for a Tottenham win here. A 2-1 win or a 1-0 win, very very narrow one. But yeah, I'm gonna go for Tottenham win.
Yeah, even I don't feel like going for a Spurs win over here. They are also playing a lot of football, and Mourinho is cracking. His comments against Dele Alli were really poor. You can't say that, especially for a player who's really struggling. You would expect Mourinho to give him some confidence, but I think Dele Alli is gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
I think he hates him. I genuinely feel he hates him. He's never going to get a chance again for Spurs properly to prove himself or to know the player he is. Um, if Jimenez was there, I would have gone for a Wolves win for sure over here. But they just don't have that attack anymore to score a goal. So Mourinho will sit back and probably get a 1-0 or a 2-1.
Okay, so Mohsin's gone for Tottenham win here. About Dele Alli, I would be shocked if he's at the club at the end of the January transfer window. I'd be really, really
Yeah.
shocked. I think it's over. If you'd seen the Amazon documentary, there was
Mm.
friction between them to start with when Mourinho started at Spurs. At the
Yeah.
start of this season, it all came to a boil. He hasn't played for he doesn't even get called up for matches. He's not even on the subs bench for
Yeah.
like 3 or 4 matches in a row, and you can see it. It's over. Anybody who can get him and I don't know what you call it, regenerate the
Speed.
old
Yeah.
Dele Alli of old would get a really really good player. But it looks doubtful, okay? Because whatever you say about Mourinho, he's a player's coach at the end of the day,
Yeah.
and it rarely happens that especially specifically with an established player. Like Dele Alli is not some young guy who didn't get a chance. Like
Yeah.
Kevin De Bruyne and Salah and Lukaku at Chelsea, you could say that. But this guy was an established player, and when this kind of player falls out with Mourinho, usually he does not go on to succeed. Okay, it's very rarely happens. You can
I
say
disagree. I feel if he goes
if
to a
you
club like
if you
Aston
go
Villa
to
or a Southampton, he'll do very well.
but if you look at the cases of Casillas or
Hmm.
Even Pogba since Mourinho has left,
Hmm.
Pogba hasn't really lived up to the billing,
Hmm.
or Shevchenko or any other.
Hmm.
When Mourinho falls out with a senior player, it's usually because of bad habits and bad performances.
Hmm.
And I feel I, I feel like Dele Alli could be a gamble, but I think it's over for him at Spurs.
Yeah, and I don't think any top four club is going to touch him right now. Probably
Oh,
next season he takes a step down and then comes back up again.
I
But
think he
he
goes out
won't
on
get a
loan.
top
I
four
think he
club.
goes out on loan. No small club can afford those wages, and no
Yeah.
big club is going to commit those kind of wages to Dele Alli, especially considering the form that he's in. I think he's going to go out on loan somewhere.
But he could be a genuine Grealish replacement if Grealish is genuinely going in Jan.
I don't think Grealish
So
is leaving in Jan.
he should go.
Okay,
Everybody wants him.
okay. So let's do
Yeah.
the recap of last week, which we did not
Yeah.
do podcast for, but we did post predictions in our group. So let's get started with first match was Crystal Palace against Liverpool. All of us had Liverpool winning. It was a comfortable win for Liverpool. Southampton against City. All of us had City winning, and City won it comfortably. Everton against Arsenal. Mohsen had a draw. I had a draw, and you had Everton winning, and Everton won. And then Newcastle against Fulham. All of us had Newcastle winning, and it was a draw. Brighton at home against Sheffield. You and me both picked a draw. Mohsen picked a Brighton win, and it was a draw. Tottenham against Leicester. All of us had Tottenham winning. Leicester won that, and it was a really good win for Leicester.
Yeah.
United against Leeds. Mohsen picked a United win. I picked a United win. You picked a draw. Uh, yeah. And then West Brom against Aston Villa. You and me both had an Aston Villa win. Mohsen went for a draw. Aston Villa won that and pretty convincingly. Burnley against Wolves. Mohsen had a Wolves win. Both of us had draw, but Burnley won that. They're in
Yeah.
super form. And Chelsea against West Ham. Mohsen picked a draw, and both of us had Chelsea wins. So Chelsea won that really comfortably. The week went as such. Mohsen got 15 points. You and me both had 30 points. And the final scoreboard looks like this. Mohsen is in his first with 340 points. I'm in second with 315 points. And you are in last 310 points. So that about wraps it up for the predictions this week. Hussain, let's get started with the fantasy. You are the fantasy guru. What rank are you at right now in the FPL game?
1900.
That is seriously fucking impressive. So you're the fantasy guru. I'm just going to be asking the questions.
Yeah.
You're going to be giving us three fantasy picks for this week's fantasy
Yeah.
action. Let's get started with your first pick. Who do you have with your first pick?
I'm going to give all three budget picks because everybody wants to accommodate the Brunos and the Salahs and the KDBs and everybody in one team. So I'm going to go for three very, very budget friendly players. One of them is Charlie Taylor.
Get started with the first one.
Uh,
Okay, Charlie Taylor. Why Charlie
Charlie
Taylor?
Taylor, yeah.
Okay.
So Charlie Taylor in the last three matches, he has got a haul of 5, 6, and 6. His price is 4.5. His next fixtures are Leeds, Sheffield, and Fulham. Uh, his price is going to increase for sure. He's going to get 2 clean sheets at least over here, and Leeds is a very attacking team. He might even get a goal from a set piece against Leeds. So yeah, one player to watch out is Charlie Taylor. If you can get him in as early as possible,
Okay.
I would advise Charlie Taylor.
Okay, I like Charlie Taylor against Leeds at least because he's ex Leeds, and we know
Yeah.
ex players like to score against their ex clubs. And I have picked a clean sheet for Burnley against Leeds. And
Yeah.
again, the next fixtures are Sheffield United and Fulham. So I really like that
Yeah.
pick. Then who do you have next?
I have John Stones actually. He's playing a lot of games. Everybody in the City forums and all are saying that John Stones and Ruben Diaz are the first team players right now. At 4.9, he's an absolute steal. In the last 3 games, the 4 games that he has started out of 5, he has got a haul of 8, 8, 6, and 6. All clean sheets with 2 bonuses. It's amazing. His next fixtures are Newcastle, Everton, Chelsea, and Brighton. Other than Chelsea, I think there's a clean sheet in all of these matches. There to be had. 4.9 for a City asset. It's a steal.
It's really good. And even Pep picked him out in the post-match press conference as the reason for why their form has, specifically defensively, how their form has improved because John
Hmm.
Stones has been able to come in and shore up the defense. Then
Okay.
who do you have as your last pick for this?
And my last pick is El Ghazi. I think he's taking all the penalties for Aston Villa. He's at 5.7. He got a 16-point haul last week, which really went unnoticed in terms of Salah got 16 and Bruno got 17, and the world went in a shock. Quietly, this guy got a 16-point haul. Before that, he got a 7-point pointer also 2 matches back. At 5.7, a penalty taker, Aston Villa wins a lot of penalties. I think he's your budget midfielder to have if you want to fit Bruno, KDB, Salah, and Son in your team.
Okay, so they are playing Crystal Palace next, but after that they have Chelsea away and
Yeah,
Manchester United away,
yeah.
and then they have Spurs at home. So I really don't like the
Yeah,
schedule
but
pick.
see, this guy's going to be your fourth or fifth midfielder with three
Okay,
strikers and four defense. So his price is going to go. You can rotate him,
I
and he can get a penalty in any of those three matches. He
With
can
Grealish
actually
around,
get, yeah.
obviously there are going to be penalties.
There's going to be a diving around.
Yes. Okay. So that about wraps it up for the fantasy picks this week. We're gonna leave now, and we're gonna be back for week 16 of the action. Week 16 is actually after 3 days, so I think we're gonna have to drop a pod after a couple of days.
Yeah,
So do keep a lookout for that one. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to
yeah.
follow us on Twitter at PL Prediction Podcast. And we're gonna see you next week. Bye bye.
Bye bye.